So, is there anything you regret about your job, or about anything you did in the military for that matter?
One of the things I regret most is, well, actually, I mean, I've always had the philosophy of live your life and do things that you know to be right and that you know you're going to enjoy. So I really can't say that I have any regrets. If there are things I wish I could change, yes. Always things that, you could change. And one of the things is early on in my career, I was hard-headed. I was what a lot of people would call a knucklehead. And I kind of had a hard time with not authority, but with getting motivated and just listening to reason. I always wanted to know why, and it took me a while to shut up and just listen to what my leaders and my supervisors were trying to tell me and trying to show me. If I could have changed anything, I would have started early on listening and doing more listening and less talking and just gotten the job done. Because I probably would have promoted a lot faster than what I did, and I probably would have gotten along a lot better. It wasn't bad, but it could have been a lot better early in the beginning.
Okay, so this is a post-retirement question. What do you think about the drop of post-military employment rates? Like, what do you think about the struggle that there is in getting a job after the military?
For like jobs for veterans, and I mean, it's recently in recent years it's gotten a lot better. I mean, back when the soldiers and everybody came home from Vietnam, it was terrible for them. They didn't get any preferential treatment, and in fact, there were a lot of people that refused to hire them because they were veterans and because they were in a conflict or a war that the general American people did not support. A lot of people were completely against it, but they deserved a lot better than what they got. For me, I think the veterans have it a lot better than what those guys had it, and that's when times were really, really hard. They're not easy now, but they're a lot better than what they were. So I don't really think that it's a lot. It's difficult for a veteran to find a job. Might be difficult for a veteran to find a job that's a good fit for them due to extenuating circumstances. There are a lot of things that go on that veterans of all conflicts have had to deal with. There are things that go on that with that particular individual that they might have a hard time finding a job that's a good fit for them. But that's not to say that there are laws in place that kind of give veterans a leg up on somebody that hasn't served, or a lot of employers look for prefer veterans because of the longevity that veteran is probably going to provide for that company or for them or for their for their office or wherever that veteran is trying to get a job at. They look for that because they know that veteran is actually not going to hire on and a couple months later walk off the job and leave them hanging high and dry, because that's not what veterans do. Veterans are wearing it for the long haul.
All right, this is back to the Navy itself. Is there anything about the Navy particularly that you would change? Like right here and right now?
Anything?
Anything at all?
Well, that's kind of hard to put my finger on. I really, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And another one of my philosophies is there's always room for improvement, no matter how perfect it is, no matter how good it is. There's always something you could tweak, something you could adjust to improve. Um, and I know other branches have a lot, especially, you know, the Army and the Marines, when, you know, their infantry units, when they deploy, they're gone for 18 months, you know, and that's no cakewalk for sure. So I can't really say deployment cycles. And the younger generation that's coming in, which are, you know, guys that, you know, young folks that are graduating high school, you know, in the next couple of years, those kids are smart, without a doubt. So the education assistance is really good. I think sometimes we've gotten a little soft on policy. We've kind of been a little too PC. A lot of the traditions that the Navy has, and I'm sure some of the other branches as well, some of the traditions that we have or had back in the day have gone to the wayside because it hurt somebody's feelings, or because it hurt. You know, if somebody got hurt, I can understand, but just because somebody's feelings got hurt, come on, man, get some thick skin. I'm not saying it's a good thing to go around hurting people's feelings, but there are things that need to be kept in place in the military. It's the military for a reason. We do things for a reason. We do things that we have to get done that nobody else is going to do. So, if I could say one thing that I wish I could change with the Navy or the military in general, is to keep the traditions going. Don't let them go to the wayside, because that is what makes the service a proud service.
So, how do you feel about the military and just retirement in general?
Well, I mean, obviously I did 24 years, so that question should answer itself. I love the military. I was long in the tooth. I feel like I had a few more years left in me. But apparently Uncle Sam decided that it was time for me to go, and it was a blessing in disguise. But retirement's bliss, man. It's good.
So, do you want to go back? Like right now, do you just want to go back, or do you want to stay here? Or is it like an either or sort of thing?
Well, I love where I'm at, but if they called me, I would probably go back in a heartbeat. I would have conditions with it, but I would go back in a heartbeat.
That concludes my interview.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
You're very welcome.